All right, welcome to another deep dive. This time, we're going to tackle something I know a lot of you are super interested in. Using AI to, really boost your writing. Become a total content machine.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, we're looking at ChatGPT.
Right.
And you want to learn the secrets, right? To churning out high-quality content without totally burning out.
Yeah.
Think of it as like discovering your secret weapon, for dominating the content world.
Totally. Secret weapon. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
We're going to be diving into a 5-day email course. It's called ChatGPT. ChatGPT is from 113.1 bot 4. Don't worry, though. We'll break it down. Make it easy to understand.
Yeah, for sure. So, imagine this. By the end of this, you'll be like an endless idea generation machine.
Endless.
That's one of the big promises of this course. And I got to admit, it, really caught my eye.
Yeah.
But before we unleash the AI and all these fancy prompts, let's, step back and talk strategy. One of the first things this course really hits on is the for who so that framework. And I think this is where a lot of people, including me, sometimes go wrong.
Yeah, I agree. It's a simple concept.
Yeah.
But so powerful, It makes you really get laser focused on your audience.
Yeah.
And their desired outcome.
Well,
so instead of just, I'm going to write about productivity, you would say, I'm writing productivity tips for busy professionals so that they can reclaim their time and, reduce stress.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's like the difference between throwing darts in the dark,
yeah,
right, versus aiming for that bullseye.
Exactly.
The course actually uses this example writing copywriting tips for recent college grads so that they can get advertising jobs.
Ooh, yeah, that's a great example.
Right.
Sure.
So when you're crystal clear on WHO you're writing for and what change you want to help them achieve your content, it just automatically becomes more relevant and engaging.
Totally.
It's all about providing value.
To a specific audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's bring this back to you listening right now.
Yeah.
Think about your own writing, right?
Oh.
Who are you trying to reach? What do you want them to get out of your content? Got that picture in your head?
Uh-huh.
Good. Now, the course takes this a step further with something called the 4A framework. It's looking at any topic through 4 different lenses.
Oh, interesting.
We've got actionable, analytical, aspirational, and anthropological.
Anthropological. Wow. Okay, so have you used this framework before? I'm curious.
I've dabbled with it, but this course really breaks it down, step by step. And what I really like is that, you could use it for anything, a blog post, a presentation, even just brainstorming.
Oh, wow. Okay, so each it gives you a different angle, a different perspective to explore the topic.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, break it down for us.
Right.
What does each of those A's actually mean in terms of the actual content?
Okay, so actionable, right? That content, it's all about practical advice, tips, tools, maybe some strategies that people can use right away. Think how-to guides, step-by-step instructions, checklists, things like that.
Gotcha. So if we were sticking with that copywriting tips for recent grads example,
yes,
an actionable piece might be 5 proven formulas for writing attention-grabbing headlines.
Exactly. Perfect example.
All right.
And then you have analytical. That's about breaking down, complex topics, data, trends into insights that are easy to grasp. This could involve statistics, research findings, case studies, expert opinions to back up your points.
Ooh, so maybe something data shows that using these 3 power words in your resume can increase your chances of getting an interview by 20%.
Ooh, I like that one. Yeah, now you're getting it. And then next up you have aspirational. And that content, it's all about inspiring people, motivating them, uplifting them. This might involve sharing personal stories, right, of success, of overcoming challenges, achieving goals, anything that gives people that boost.
Yeah, I love that. It's showing people what's possible and giving them that push to, go after their dreams. Maybe a story about a recent grad who landed their dream job in advertising.
Right.
By using these copywriting techniques.
Exactly. Perfect. You got it. And finally, we have anthropological. And this one, it's all about the deeper why behind things. It digs into the cultural stuff, societal factors, even psychology, the things that shape our behaviors, our beliefs, our motivations.
Okay, so this is where we get a little philosophical.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's about understanding the human element behind the topic.
Exactly. And in the context of our example, right? It could be a piece that explores why certain copywriting techniques are so effective with young professionals today, maybe tying it to their values, their aspirations, the way they consume information online.
Now here's where it gets really interesting. This is where ChatGPT comes in. The course actually gives you a specific ChatGPT prompt. And don't worry, we'll share it with you later in this deep dive.
Oh, a prompt. Okay.
That is designed to turn ChatGPT into your personal idea machine.
Really, your personal idea machine?
Yeah.
So what's so cool about this prompt is it's not magic or anything. It's like a system, right? It guides ChatGPT to generate ideas across all 4 of those A categories that we just talked about. It even breaks it down further, like subtopics within each A, things like ultimate guides, swipe files, personal stories, even why others are wrong.
Okay, I'm already seeing how this could be a total game changer. It's like having a brainstorming partner, but on steroids.
Totally.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's pause for a second. Why is this 4A framework so valuable? What do you think? Why should our listeners really care about using this for their content?
Well, it's all about having a well-rounded approach to how you create content, right?
Okay.
By looking at all 4 of these A angles, you're making sure your content is not just informative, but practical, engaging, inspiring, and makes people think.
I love that. It's about creating content that resonates on multiple levels, which keeps people coming back for more. So before we reveal the actual prompt, the one that will unleash this endless idea generation machine within ChatGPT, let's pause for a second. What's standing out to you so far? What's sparking your curiosity?
I think that 4 or so, that framework, I don't know why, but it's really sticking with me.
Yeah.
It's such a simple shift,
Yeah.
but it can change everything about how you think about content.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes this email course so cool. It starts with strategy first before, jumping into all the tactics and tools. Speaking of tools, let's talk ChatGPT.
Okay.
And that prompt. The one that's supposed to unlock the endless idea generation machine. Are you ready to see how it works?
I am. I'm really excited to see how this prompt guides ChatGPT to come up with, so many different ideas.
Okay, so instead of just reading the whole thing out loud, which might be a bit much,
Yeah.
I think it would be more helpful to break it down,
Yeah.
step by step,
Okay.
and explain the thinking behind each part. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
It'll help people listening really understand how to use this prompt, and adapt it for their own stuff.
Exactly. So the first thing this prompt does, it's kind of like training ChatGPT to think about content in a specific way.
Okay.
It starts by introducing those 4 A categories. Actionable, analytical, aspirational, and anthropological. And then it breaks each of those categories down into a list of subtopics.
Oh, so it's like giving ChatGPT a content creation cheat sheet.
So by giving it all these subtopics, you're helping ChatGPT understand the different ways it can approach a topic.
Yes, exactly. So for example, under actionable, right, you might have things like tips, tools, frameworks, or ultimate guides. Under analytical, you could have trends, data, case studies, or expert opinions.
Okay, I'm with you.
And what's really clever is the prompt then tells ChatGPT how to format the ideas it comes up with.
Okay.
It says, give me ideas in the form of headlines, and they're organized by those same subtopics from the prompt.
Oh, that makes sense.
And this is where that so that framework comes back in. You're basically giving ChatGPT a topic, your target audience, and the outcome they want. And then the prompt tells ChatGPT, okay, now give me a headline idea for each of those subtopics.
Gotcha. So it's like saying, hey, ChatGPT, here's my topic, my audience, and their goal.
Yeah.
Now give me a bunch of headline ideas that fit those needs using all those different angles we talked about. Exactly. It's like having a personal brainstorming assistant. One that can, instantly come up with dozens of headline ideas, all tailored to, exactly what you need.
Wow.
Now, I know some people might be thinking, hold on, isn't this just a fancy way of getting ChatGPT to write clickbait headlines?
Yeah, that's a fair point. But remember, those headlines, they're just the starting point. It's up to you to take those headlines and make them into really good content that actually provides value to your audience.
That's a great point. This prompt is about helping you come up with ideas. It's not about replacing your own creativity,
Right?
and expertise. Okay, so let's say you've got your list of headlines. Now what?
Yeah.
How do you actually turn those headlines into, actual content? Well, this email course doesn't stop there. It also gives you more prompts for creating different types of content, starting with short pieces like tweets, or LinkedIn posts. They call this outline as content. What do you think about that?
Outline as content. I kind of like that. It's like taking a lean approach to creating content. Instead of spending hours, writing this long piece that might not even work, you test out your ideas first.
It's like dipping your toe in the water, right?
Exactly. You see what kind of engagement you get, which headlines people are clicking on, and then you can invest more time, more energy into those ideas that are working.
And this aligns really well with the learner persona we're thinking about with this deep dive, right?
Yeah.
Remember, they want to be efficient.
Yeah.
They don't want to be overloaded with information.
Exactly. Exactly. By being strategic and using data, they can make sure they're putting their energy into ideas that actually resonate with their audience.
So let's talk about those short-form prompts.
Okay.
One of the prompts in this email course, it's specifically for turning those headlines we talked about into like engaging tweets or LinkedIn posts. And again, instead of just reading the whole prompt, let's focus on the main ideas behind it. What do you think?
I like that. Yeah. It's all about the why, not just the mechanics of it,
Exactly. So this short form prompt, it's all about being brief and having structure. It tells ChatGPT to keep things short, use bullet points to make it easy to read, and always start with a sentence that will grab attention.
Oh, okay. So it's like a formula for writing those punchy, attention-grabbing posts that do well on social media.
Yeah, exactly. And what's cool is, even though it gives you that structure, you still have room to be creative.
Right.
You can edit what ChatGPT gives you, add your own stories, your own examples, really make it your own.
So it's like having a co-writer, right? That can help with the first draft so you can focus on the details, making it sound like you.
Exactly. Okay, so we've seen how to get headline ideas, how to create those short-form pieces. Now, what happens if one of those tweets or LinkedIn posts, really takes off?
Yeah, what then?
How do we expand on that? Make it into something bigger? That's where Twitter threads come in. And guess what? The email course has a prompt for that, too.
Of course it does. This course has a prompt for everything.
Right. I'm starting to think I need, a separate notebook just to keep track of all these prompts.
Yeah, for real.
But before we, get lost in prompt overload, let's focus on this Twitter thread one.
Okay.
What's it all about?
So it's a framework, right? For turning a single tweet into a much deeper dive. The prompt guides ChatGPT to create a series of tweets that, build on each other, expand on that initial idea in a way that makes sense.
Okay. And again, it's all about structure.
Yeah.
It tells ChatGPT to start with a really compelling tweet, that hook. Then break down the main points into individual tweets, each with their own bullet points and a concluding sentence.
So it's like creating a mini course or a blog post, but in tweet form.
And what's cool about Twitter threads is they're easy to read and share.
Right.
You can reach more people, start conversations around your ideas.
And you can reuse content you already have.
Yes.
Take that tweet that people loved and make it into a thread.
Exactly. It's all about getting the most out of your content. Sometimes, I gotta admit, Twitter threads, they feel a bit fleeting.
Yeah.
They kind of disappear in the feed.
They do.
What if we want to create something more substantial, something that, sticks around longer? That's where the atomic essay comes in.
Ah, yes. The atomic essay. A classic format for sharing valuable info in a way that's, concise and engaging.
And you won't believe this, but this email course has a prompt to help ChatGPT write those too.
Wait, really? So ChatGPT can write entire atomic essays? That's next level.
I know, right? I was skeptical at first, but this prompt is super detailed. It tells ChatGPT everything, from the headline to the conclusion, making sure that each essay follows that clear structure and delivers a strong message.
I gotta see this prompt. Can we break it down?
Yeah, for sure. So it starts by emphasizing the importance of the headline.
It's got to grab attention and really convey the main idea of the essay. Then it tells ChatGPT to write a really concise, impactful opening sentence. Set the stage for the rest of the essay.
Okay, so it's all about setting the tone and hooking the reader right away.
Exactly. Then the prompt tells ChatGPT how to structure the body of the essay. It's going to have main points, each with its own heading, an opening sentence, evidence to back it up, and then a concluding statement.
So it's like creating a mini outline within the essay itself.
Yeah.
Makes it easy for people to follow along.
And what's great is the prompt encourages ChatGPT to use specific examples and actionable advice, making the essay not just informative, but also practical.
It's about giving value, making sure the reader, walks away with something they can actually use.
Okay, so we've gone from headline ideas to creating short-form content, Twitter threads, and now even atomic essays. I'm starting to feel like we're building a whole content creation, arsenal here.
Right.
With ChatGPT as our trusty sidekick. It's pretty amazing to see how we can use AI to, streamline this whole writing process.
And the best part, this is just the beginning. In part 3, we'll explore how to use all this to create even longer content, like full-blown blog posts.
Oh, wow.
And we'll dive into those 5 magic ingredients that the email course keeps talking about.
Right, the magic ingredients.
Those extra elements you can use to expand and, enrich any content.
I'm intrigued.
So until next time, keep those creative juices flowing and those ChatGPT prompts handy. We'll be back to reveal the secrets of long-form content creation with AI. Welcome back. I am so ready for this last part of our deep dive into AI writing. We've covered so much ground, strategic frameworks, short-form content. We even got ChatGPT to help us with Twitter threads and those atomic essays.
It's amazing how much we've gotten through already.
Right.
And I bet you're feeling a lot more confident about using these techniques in your own writing, right? But we're not done yet. We're going to level up, tackle something that a lot of writers find, well, kind of scary, long-form content.
Yeah, blog posts.
Yeah.
Articles, even ebooks can feel like a whole other, monster to deal with. But this email course has this really interesting approach, and it builds on everything we've already talked about. Instead of starting from scratch, the idea is to use those atomic essays we were talking about last time.
Right. Think of those atomic essays as building blocks for something bigger. The course calls this the pillar blog post approach.
Okay, pillar blog post. I like it. How does it work?
So imagine you have 5 atomic essays, all on a similar topic. Maybe it's content marketing, productivity tips, personal finance, whatever.
Okay.
You arrange those essays in a logical order, add a little intro, some smooth transitions, and bam, you've got a solid blog post.
So instead of staring at that blank page, feeling intimidated by all the words you need for a long piece, we're basically putting together a puzzle from pieces we already have.
I like that. And it's not just about saving time, right?
By building on content that you already know works, those atomic essays that resonated with your audience, you're more likely to have a successful blog post too.
Absolutely. It just makes sense.
It does. But I'm curious, where does ChatGPT come into all of this? How do we use it to actually create this pillar blog post?
Well, instead of asking ChatGPT to write the whole blog post at once, which can be a bit much for both you and the AI, the course says to do it in 2 steps.
Okay, 2 steps.
First, get ChatGPT to create a really detailed outline based on those atomic essays.
Gotcha. So we're breaking down this big task into smaller, more manageable parts.
Yeah.
We've seen that throughout this whole course. What does that outline prompt look like?
It's very specific. You're basically saying to ChatGPT, create an outline for a long-form blog post with this headline, and then you give it the headline you want to use.
Simple enough. Then what?
Then you got to give it some rules for the outline. You might tell it, okay, organize the outline into main points. Each point should include an actionable tip, a common mistake people make, a relevant statistic with a source, and 2 case studies or stories to illustrate the point.
Wow, that's pretty comprehensive. It's like we're giving ChatGPT a blueprint for a really informative, engaging blog post.
Exactly. You're setting the AI up for success. By giving it all that info up front, it can generate a really strong outline.
Okay, so we have the outline from ChatGPT. What's next? Do we just copy and paste it into our blog editor and call it a day?
Nope, not quite.
Okay.
This is where the magic happens. Now that you have the outline, you can go back to ChatGPT and ask it to expand on each point one at a time.
Ah, okay. So if my outline has a point about, let's say, the importance of email marketing, I could ask ChatGPT to write a paragraph about this using the atomic essay format.
Exactly. Or you could say, expand on this tip. Give me more steps and examples. You're using the outline like a roadmap and letting ChatGPT help you flesh out each section.
That's so smart. It's like having a writing assistant that not only gives you ideas, but also helps you actually write them out in a way that makes sense.
And remember, ChatGPT is just a tool. You're still in control. You can edit what it gives you, add your own thoughts, your own experiences, and really make the blog post your own.
I love this whole approach. It just makes creating long-form content feel less overwhelming and more, systematic.
Definitely.
But there's one more thing from this email course I want to touch on before we wrap up. Those 5 magic ingredients you mentioned.
Oh, yes. The secret sauce for making your content, whether it's a tweet, an atomic essay, or a full-blown blog post, just more engaging and interesting.
Okay, remind me, what are they again?
Okay, so I've got reasons, mistakes, actionable steps, personal story examples, and curated story examples. Think of them like spices, you know.
Okay, I like that, spices.
You sprinkle them in to make your writing more flavorful.
So let's say I'm writing that blog post about, I don't know, building an email list.
Okay, good one.
How could I use these magic ingredients to make it better?
Well, you could start with reasons.
Okay.
You know, explain why building an email list is so important for any online business. What are the benefits? Why should anyone care?
Right. And then we could talk about mistakes. What are some common mistakes people make when building their email list? That way, readers can avoid those pitfalls.
Exactly. Then we have actionable steps. Give them a clear plan step by step for building their own email list.
I see how this is all coming together. We're not just telling them to do it. We're giving them the why, the what not to do, and the how all in one place.
Exactly. And then, to make it even more engaging, we can get personal. That's where personal story examples come in. Share your own experiences, the struggles you had, what you learned, how you succeeded.
That always makes it feel more real, you know, authentic. And to top it off, we can use curated story examples. Share stories about other people or businesses that built amazing email lists, highlighting their strategies and results.
Boom! Now you've got content that's not just informative, but also inspiring, relatable, and actionable. And the best part, you can use these magic ingredients with any topic.
This whole deep dive has been amazing. I feel like we've unlocked a whole new way to create content using AI.
I know, it's pretty powerful stuff.
The big takeaway here is that ChatGPT, it's a tool. It's not replacing you. You're still the creative force behind it. By understanding these prompts, these techniques, you can use AI to become a better, more efficient writer.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one thought. What are you going to create today? What idea will you explore? Don't let fear or feeling overwhelmed hold you back. Play with those prompts, experiment, and see what amazing content you can come up with.
Keep learning, keep creating, and keep sharing your voice with the world.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.